Shout out to Shaq. Before I start off saying what I gotta say, shouts out to Shaq. I love what Shaq does. I love what he stands for. However, he said something in the episode that I do not agree with. He said that he cannot, and Country Wayne said the same thing. But salute to Country Wayne too. But he said this. He said that you cannot be vulnerable with a woman. Now, I get it. Sometimes when you're vulnerable or too vulnerable with a woman, they would throw the very thing that you said in your face in the midst of an argument, right? However, I truly believe that when you find the right one, I mean a real one, a real woman, you can be vulnerable as possible with her. Because she has your best interest, and she's not going to regurgitate for evil to hurt your ego, to make you feel a certain type of way of something that you said in a private moment.
Let you know, man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. God is really using you to help me out.
What's going on, family? I want to welcome you to AOS the podcast. I'm your host, Mr. AOS Inspires. This is what I need you to do. We're on every single platform: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I need you to go and subscribe and follow us right now. We drop content every single day that'll help you with your life, because our mission here at AOS the podcast is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you live life at the next level. I want you to live life on the next level. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that's watching this episode. This is going to be a dynamic episode. I need you to dive in. Do me a big favor. I need you to like, share, and comment. Don't be a stranger. Comment with us. And this is what I need you also to do. I need you to copy this link right here on this podcast, this episode, and share it with at least 10 of your friends. I promise you, it's going to help them out. Let's jump into the episode. Hello, family. You guys are so amazing. I'll welcome you to another episode of AOS the podcast. It's your boy, Mr. AOS Inspires. I'm excited about this episode on today. We're running another good episode for you. We're going to drop something hot for you, some dope, right? Something to make you think, because there's a lot of controversy behind this topic. And truth be told, Shaq said something that that got some folks talking, right? Even Country Wayne said the same thing, right? Country Wayne, it was him, Country Wayne, and the white guy, I believe, on the episode. I just heard it off of Harley Initiated, and they made it an episode and talked about that topic. So he said, listen, why your boy can't jump on it? AOS the podcast need to hop on that, right? And the topic was, can a man, well, this is what they said, a man should not be vulnerable with a woman, right? That's what they said. A man should not be, and let me unpack it first from this perspective, because I understand, I get it, right? Now, I'm not going to say culturally it depends on what type of woman you're dealing with, because women are women, right? I'm going to say this. Now, well, it is culturally, because some cultures, women will not say things to hit below the belt. There's some cultures, some ethnicities, some races, they would not do that because that's how they're taught, right? And those are the values that they live by. Let's really be honest, right? But I want to talk about this, especially in the black context. Now, let's look at it from this angle. I understand, and I'm not bashing what they said. I'm just doing this for a good dialogue so that my community can understand and be able to decipher the two and understand, like, yo, I can't be vulnerable with her, or I can be vulnerable with her, because I'm gonna just, before we get further in this episode, I do believe that there's a real woman and a good woman that you can be vulnerable with, that you can be open with your feelings and your emotions and how you feel and things that has hurt you in the past, right? Because, okay, I'm gonna say this. Think about this. There's some therapists that are women, right? That you go and talk to, that you're vulnerable with, that you open up with about your past, about things that you haven't told nobody. Now, professionally, she cannot professionally, right? She's not supposed to throw it in your face. Does it happen? Absolutely. However, professionally, there's some type of clause in her degree that she agreed to before she even started practicing it, that she won't, there are certain guidelines or boundaries that she doesn't cross. If a woman can do this professionally, Think about this. There are women that really truly love you, right? That will not that won't do it. Every woman won't do it. Let's put it at that. But let me get on their case first, because I understand, right? You get with a woman and you're vulnerable with her. This is why I say don't make decisions out of emotions. Let's really be honest. When a person makes a decision out of emotion, right? An emotional decision will make a person say what they don't really mean. They may feel it at the moment, but they really don't mean it, right? So that's the first thing, right? There's a lot of people that will say things that they don't mean emotionally. That's why I tell people, don't make emotional decisions. Don't let emotions drive you, because emotions will always send you to the wrong side of the bed. It will always make you make piss poor decisions, right? So, I understand. There's a lot of women that you can deal with that, let's say, will manipulate the whole situation because they're emotional, or you pissed them off, right? So I understand what Country Wayne and Shaq was saying from that perspective, because now, this is what I believe. I believe that to open up to a woman that you're not in covenant with, and when I say covenant, I'm talking about a woman that you're like, listen, this is the woman that I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with, that you've got married to. Covenant, right? I built this covenant with this woman, you know, and even a covenant is not guaranteed. So that's why I'm looking at it from this ocular lens to say I understand what they're saying. I've seen women time and time again, a guy, they have created a space, and it's even in the Bible. Samson and Delilah, that story is bananas, right? But I've seen women that will butter a man up, and she started off with pure intentions, but it I guess along the way she figured like, yo, this is not the guy that I want to be with, right? Or this is not that dude that I thought he was. So then her signal got a little mixed, it got a little tainted, right? But she started with pure intentions. I've seen situations where it started off pure. It started off just like that. I mean, it was cool. Everything was great. She was holding him down. She had his back. But something along the lines, along the journey, I should say, it just flipped. I'm done, right? So in the pillow talk, a lot of people call it pillow talk. In the moment of him being vulnerable, getting naked in front of her, not physically, I'm talking about emotionally, mentally, psychologically, and spiritually, right? He shared some things with her. I know of instincts like that. He shared some major things with her that from his childhood, things that he did that he hasn't told nobody, right? And what happened was, in the midst of arguments, and this is what I tell every single relationship, you have to understand the difference between, and you have to be in control of your emotions to know, okay, I'm just angry at this moment. What's going on, family? I know that you're enjoying the episode, but I had to pause to ask you a quick question. Have you ever been through anything in life that was so life-altering that it changed your life forever? I mean, have you ever been and had a job and you lost that job? I mean, your dream job, you lost that job for whatever reason. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, you started a business, and the business started off great, and then it seemed as if it was going downhill. And now you're at a place, you lost your marriage, you lost your children, you lost some major things in your life. And now you're at a place in life where you're like, hey, this is the end of the road. I don't see it getting better. I got news for you. It will get better. And I wrote a book just for you. It's entitled Winning After a Major Loss. You need to go and get your copy. Go to barnesandnoble.com, go to amazon.com, get your copy right now. Winning After a Major Loss. I promise you, it's going to change the trajectory of your life. It's going to change your mindset. Most importantly, it's going to change your heart about your situation, because I promise you, you can win after a major loss. Go get your copy now. Barnes & Noble's, amazon.com. Order your copy now. Let's get back to the episode. I'm not wanting to dispose of this person, right? This is not a person that I want to get out of my life. Like, I love this person. I'm just pissed at the moment. A lot of people will take that moment of pistosity. I'm going to make up a word. They would take that moment of pistosity and go over the bridge. And you would say things that we call it hitting below the belt. You hit below the belt. Right? So that's why I say I understand what they're saying. Like I said, I've seen women that start off pure, but something, he said no to something. He was supposed to give you some money, $1,500 for this, $2,000 for whatever, right? And he didn't. So now, and I don't think that this is a cause to hit below the belt, but she may justify this cause. There may have been other things that have built up to this. That's why I told you last week at the episode, like, I get it. We all go through things, but in a relationship, in order for the relationship to work, you have to be able to forgive on a drop of a dime. Now, I stand with these guys, Shaq and Country Wayne, 100%. If this is not a woman that you see yourself with for the rest of your life, or if it's just a woman that you're dealing with for the moment, or it's a woman that you like a little bit, right? But I don't want to wife her. I totally agree. Don't be vulnerable. Don't open up to her. Now, let's flip it up to my understanding. To say that you cannot open up to no woman, this signifies that you have not healed from past hurt. I remember after my first divorce, this is what I said. I would never get married again. I said that. I said that the only thing I'm going to do is just not even do me, because I don't live a life I didn't live a life like that, right? I just said, I may have a girlfriend, maybe, right? But I'm cool. I'm just going to build what I got going on and just work like that. I don't want to get married no more. Why? Because of the past hurt. Oftentimes men, let's really be honest, we put blockers or barricades up in our lives because something has happened. Because somebody has hurt us. Somebody has damaged our emotions. Somebody has damaged our egos. And oftentimes we build this wall up, right? So I would say something like this when I'm not healed. Don't trust women. Don't open up to a woman. Just use her for sex. Just use her for a good time. Just use her for companionship. And that's it. Right? Those are words of a man that has not healed from a past trauma, from a past problem, from a past issue, right? So let's really break this thing down. When you have healed, I'll be honest with you, I had somebody tell me, it's like, yo, you can't just say that you won't trust love again or give love a shot again because of this situation or because this happened. Just because this happened, it doesn't mean that every single woman is like that. Let me talk to the women too. Women, just because you've been hurt by one man doesn't mean, and it kills me. It kills me. It kills me. It kills me. You make your own decision, but this kills me when women say, I ain't messing with men, I'm gonna go with women. They do the same thing. They will break your heart just like a man will break your heart. But the only difference is she understands better how you feel. That's the only thing. She has an upper hand. Right. So you can't really operate through life to say, listen, I would never trust another man, because think about this. If you feel like this as a man, I can't be vulnerable with a woman. How do you think a lot of women feel that have been hurt, that have been cheated on, that have been abused? Right. That's nonsense. And I'm going to tell you this. It's really arrogant. It's really cocky for a man to desire a woman to open up to him, but he won't open up to her. Let's really be honest. I think that's really arrogant and cocky, and it's selfish. You want her to open up to you so that you can help her heal through the parts of her life that she hasn't healed from, or you can be careful about those mimes in her life, right? Those mimes, the mimes that, overseas, you step on a mime and, you blow up. You try to navigate through those mimes in her life to make sure that damage, you won't open up a new sore. It's selfish and it's cocky for you to expect her to open up to you, but you won't open up to her. Eventually, men, you will find a woman, and you may not find a woman because it depends on your mindset. You have to be able to trust a woman wholeheartedly. I'm not saying you got to be careful. I'm going to tell you this. Listen, I don't even know why I'm breaking this thing down, because if you've been following me for a while, you got to be very careful who you have children with. You have to be very mindful of who you get into relationship with, right? Because watch this. And I break this down all the time. You can get into a relationship with somebody that is cool with being broke, but you want to be a multimillionaire. that relationship would not work. Why? Because she won't understand your hustle, or he won't understand your hustle. He won't understand why you got to be out till midnight working. I don't get it. Or she won't understand, why do you stay up to 2 o'clock in the morning and you just go to bed at 3 o'clock and you wake up again at 8? I'm grinding. I'm trying to build something. They won't understand. There will be a disconnect. So you got to be very mindful about the people that you get into a relationship with. You got to be mindful about the women and the men that you just, I mean, it's just crazy. So to break it down, can a man, I'm going to give you my best opinion. Can a man be vulnerable to a woman? Yes. Should a man be vulnerable to a woman? The right woman. The right one, period. Like you have to make sure, you have to make that decision in life. Like, is this the woman that I can open up to? Is this the woman that I can spend the rest of my life with? Is this the woman that I want to build something with? You got to make that decision. And until you make that right decision, yes, you will be in the same boat as Shaq and Countryway. Multimillionaires, but haven't healed from past trauma, haven't healed from past pain. Because this is the truth. Every woman is not the same, just like every man is not the same. Every car is not the same. Yeah, it may look alike, but there's some differences in that car, right? There's two models. I'm going to break this thing now because I learned this when I used to sell cars. He said that you can sell used cars for much more than you can sell a new car. And I was like, why? He said, because there's no two used cars that are identical. They may be the same. Like, you can get an S550, right? A 2021 used S550 and another 2021 used S550. Same everything, specs, everything. They're still outside of being two physical cars. They're still two different cars, and they can still go for two different prices. Reason why? Because this car may have less miles. That car may have more miles. This car may have been dinged up. This car may not be dinged up. This car may have been in an accident. This car may not have been in an accident. So two men are not the same. Two women are not the same. Two relationships are not the same. Two marriages are not the same. You may have been in a marriage before and it ended in turmoil and it ended in hell and you're like, yo, I'm done. But your next marriage may not be like that. But what you need to do is go back to some of my old episodes and look for the qualifications and see, how do I need to date? How do I pick the right person? Am I wired? That was a big episode that I did maybe about 2-3 months ago. Am I wired for him? Am I wired for her? Right? Like, you really need to know and be honest with yourself. Like, can I handle this person? And I'm not saying handle like I can control or dictate to this person, but you got to understand this. There's certain people that you really can't handle. So you need to understand all of that. When I say handle, I'm talking about, can I live up to the standard that they've set? Like, she needs to get her nails done every week, her hair done every week. Can I handle that? Ladies, you may be dealing with the guy that say, listen, I need a home cooked meal, and these are preferences that people have, and it's okay. Don't let somebody make you feel as if your preferences is whatever you prefer is you're asking for too much. No, these are my standards. This is what I desire. Right? So I need you to look into that and think about that clearly, my fellas and my ladies. But can a man be vulnerable to a woman? Absolutely. But she got to be the right one. I'm gone. Hold on, family. I want to say thank you for rocking with us during this episode. We have been so excited to drop this episode. I'm glad that you made it to the end. This is what I want you to do. If you have any takeaways from this episode, leave it in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear how you feel. I want to bring content to you that's relevant to you, that'll help you change your life, because you already know our mission here at AOS Inspires, AOS the podcast, is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you live life at the next level. This is what I need you to do. I need you to like, subscribe, share this episode. If it spoke to your life, share this episode with somebody. Why? Because you are connected to some people that we're not connected with. And with that connection together, we can empower the world to never give up. I'm Mr. AOS Inspires. This is AOS the podcast. I can't wait to see you next week. Just in case you didn't know, we drop every single week, 3 times a week. Mondays, 8 a.m., Wednesdays, 8 a.m., and Fridays, 8 a.m. You need to catch an episode. Matter of fact, catch all 3 episodes. It's going to be fire. I promise you it's going to help you doing your everyday life. It's going to help you get to the next level. Let's go.